As believers are learning to proclaim the gospel to one another, the inevitability of that, I would hope, would be that they would begin to share the gospel with people who don't know the good news of Jesus. But here's, I think, often a problem is people are going, but my whole world has become Christians. That's who I hang out with, that's who we do small group with, that's who I go to church with, that's who I have my kids play with, and so on and so forth. It's like we got ourselves in this little Christian bubble, and we've done the very opposite of what Jesus prayed would not happen. I mean, he said, Father, don't take them out of the world, leave them in it. And we've gone, no, take them out of the world. And we've misunderstood sanctification or as like separate from the world instead of separated for God's work in the world. And so I think, first of all, we have to embrace that idea that we are called to be in the middle of the brokenness of our world. And then I think we just start to ask, well, what are the natural pathways that people do engage in relationships? I mean, like, for instance, this fall, I know a lot of people are going to have issue with, like, should we celebrate Halloween, should we not? I mean, it's the one time in the year where people come to your door and like you're just there. You don't have to do a thing. Like, why wouldn't you bless them? Like, be the people who give the greatest stuff. Like, you got the biggest candy bars, and people are going, like, we got to go to that house every year and, have some cider outside or whatever it may be, and then talk to people. Like, tell me about yourself. We've done this every year, and we'll have conversations. Parents will stop with their kids. We'll talk for 20, 30 minutes. And they're going, why do you do this? Like, you guys are always doing this. Well, let me tell you about why we've done this. There's a story I want to tell you about how Jesus came to earth, and he moved into the neighborhood, and he took on flesh, and he dwelt among us, and he served, and he loved, and he listened, and he cared, and he did that because he wants to rescue us from our rebellion and bring us into a right relationship with God. I mean, it's things like that. And in other words, I think what we have to do is we have to say, there are normal rhythms of life that we can do in such a way that the world takes notice because we do it with great generosity and care and love, and then we see them as a potential gospel metaphor. You become an advocate for someone on your block that everybody talks about behind their back, and you're the one who says, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, let's get them in front of us and let's talk to them face to face. And they go, why would you do that? Well, I got to tell you, I have one who's an advocate for me right now when I can't speak. And Jesus right now, my advocate before God the Father. I deserve wrath. I deserve to be killed for my rebellion. And he's saying, no, I died for that guy. He's my advocate. And I think we could be looking at opportunities throughout our neighborhood and our community and go, how could we love and serve and engage in the rhythms of their life in such a way that it would demand a gospel explanation? Because we created a metaphor of what the gospel looks like. I mean, we can't show the gospel. We have to say it. But creating the metaphor gives you a great platform through which to say it. Christ is our advocate. Jesus moved into the neighborhood. He's hospitable. He gave us a planet. We destroyed it. He cleaned it up with his own life. Like, we can use the metaphors within the context we're in and proclaim the gospel through them.